Hello everyone, I'm the web novel guy, and I'm bringing you 10 short and complete web novels to read. The numbers in the list are random. Now, let's begin the video. 1. My childhood friend rejected me before I could even confess, and I was even deceived with a false confession, but I got a cute girlfriend in the end. This story follows Kyohei Wada, a boy who's always been close to his childhood friend, Maika Ayetsuji. He gathers the courage to finally confess his feelings, but before he can even say a word, Maika coldly rejects him, claiming she'd never date someone like him. Heartbroken, Kyohei's troubles don't end there. The very next day, a classmate plays a cruel prank by giving him a fake confession, turning him into the target of ridicule among the girls in class. Just when it seems like everything is falling apart, his friends step in to support him. With their encouragement, Kyohei begins to move forward, and soon he meets Aya, a kind classmate who sees him for who he really is. As their bond grows, Maika slowly realizes the weight of her mistake, watching the boy she once rejected find happiness in someone else's arms. What began as a story of humiliation and heartbreak transforms into one of growth, healing, and finding the love he truly deserves. This is a tale about a boy with low self-esteem, his supportive friends, and the sweet journey of moving on, one step at a time.
My perfect revenge story after my girlfriend cheated on me after loving her for 2 years. This is a gripping short web novel about love, betrayal, and the devastating ripple effects of choices. It follows a university couple whose seemingly ordinary relationship unravels when temptation and hidden desires enter the picture. What begins as a gentle romance soon spirals into a dark story of heartbreak, revenge, and regret. If you enjoy psychological drama and emotional storytelling that makes you question what's truly worth holding on to, this one is worth reading.
3. Yomei Ichinen no Kimi ga Boku ni Nokoshite Kureta mono. This is the story of Mizuki, a boy who loses hope after the death of his mother. Just when his world feels empty, a new transfer student named Misaki suddenly enters his life. After school, the two began working together on the library committee, and slowly, the distance between them starts to close. But then, Misaki reveals a heartbreaking truth. Her life expectancy is short. With her honesty, she asks Mizuki for one thing: to be with her and help her experience the things she wants to do before her time runs out. From that moment on, Mizuki devotes himself to her, doing everything he can to make her days brighter. But Misaki carries a hidden secret that changes everything. This is a bittersweet love story between two opposites, the shy Mizuki and the innocent Misaki. A pure romance tied to a ticking clock where every moment becomes more precious than the last. 4. An old man was kicked out of the hero's party, had his woman stolen from him, and suffered a terrible experience, but he becomes the strongest after being given the ability to use necromancy by the former Demon King. Gil Clark was once a respected adventurer, so skilled and beloved that his own country recommended him to join the hero's party. But as the group drew closer to the Demon King's castle, the monsters grew stronger, and Gil began to fall behind. Branded as a burden, the hero cast him aside. And to make matters worse, Gil's own lover, Celia, was stolen by the very man he trusted. Broken and despairing, Gil wandered alone, only to fall in battle against a monster. But just as death closed in, a mysterious old man appeared before him, and from that moment, Gil's story takes a new turn. This is the tale of a fallen adventurer, betrayed by love and comrades, who discovers that the end may only be the beginning.
5. Her tsundere personality killed his heart. Mio Hinata is the perfect high school student, top grades, immaculate appearance. Inside, she hides crippling anxiety and wears a flawless mask. Only Yuki Sakurai, a quiet classmate, sees her true self. Though she cares for him, pride and fear of vulnerability make her lash out. When classmates led by Yamada Kenta begin to bully Yuki, Mio's silence and subtle encouragement let harassment escalate.
6. I've been stripped of my place in the world, and I'm so tired of life that I've decided to leave. Goodbye, everyone. Whatever happens next, I don't care anymore. Futra, once a dedicated warrior, is suddenly dismissed from his party by Dolmen, the hero and their leader. Even his childhood friends take the hero's side, leaving Futra without a place to belong. But what seems like the end of his journey is actually the start of a new one. Freed from the shadows of those who looked down on him, Futra's path takes an unexpected turn, leading to discoveries, strength, and a story that unfolds beyond what anyone could have imagined. 7. Scarlet Goodbye. Amano Alo has always been by Ichijo Sakura's side, her biggest supporter, her quiet anchor, the boy who believed in her as she ran toward her dreams. But when the charming upperclassman Kurosaki Ren steps into Sakura's life, everything begins to change. What starts as a childhood bond slowly unravels. Trust turns fragile. Feelings that were once unspoken are shattered by betrayal and misplaced affection. Ao, carrying the pain of watching the girl he loved slip away, chooses to distance himself rather than linger in heartbreak. Only later, when the truth of Ren's cruelty is revealed, does Sakura realize the weight of her mistake. But by then, it's too late. Ao has already left, leaving behind a bittersweet story of lost chances, broken trust, and the quiet tragedy of love that could have been. 8. 1 year after raging at the guy who rejected the girl of my dreams, we ended up seatmates. Now she cares for me. Kakeru Taiga enrolled into a top high school after hellish studying, and there he found his middle school crush, Fuka Kiyomi, as well as an old classmate, the handsome Amane Imataka. Despite him coming from the same middle school as the two, they had never properly crossed paths. However, one day, Kakeru happened to overhear Kiyomi's confession to her childhood friend, Imataka. He expected her confession to be a success, but to his surprise, Imataka went above and beyond. Not only did he reject her, he also showered her with insults. Seeing Kiyomi crying was enough. Anger consumed him, and he couldn't control his rising emotions. Afflicted, he ended up punching Imataka. 1 year later, after a class change, the girl he'd always admired ended up sitting next to him. Before he realized it, the two were getting closer to each other. Will he finally break out of his shell? 9. 3 Days of Happiness. 3 Days of Happiness is a novel by Sugaru Miyake, also known as Fafu. The story begins with Kusunoki, a 20-year-old who feels worthless and sees no future for himself. Out of desperation, he visits a mysterious shop where people can sell the remaining years of their life. There, he learns that his entire lifespan is valued at just 300,000 yen, far less than most. Crushed by the weight of his own insignificance, Kusunoki sells almost everything, leaving himself with only 3 months left to live. Assigned to watch over him during this time is Miyagi, a quiet and mysterious clerk from the shop. What follows is a bittersweet journey where Kusunoki, who once saw no meaning in life, slowly begins to experience connection, warmth, and even love in the little time he has left. It is a story of fleeting days, fragile emotions, and the question of what truly gives life its value. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. Hinata Amayama has always had Suzuka Ichinose by his side. For over a decade, she's been his closest friend, bright, cheerful, and surrounded by people who admire her. Their bond stretches all the way back to childhood, and even in high school, nothing seemed to change. Hinata believed she would always be there, that their connection was unshakable. But the truth is, he was the only one who thought so. This is a coming-of-age story about friendship, love, and the painful realization of what we take for granted. As Hinata begins to understand his true feelings for Suzuka, he also learns that growing up means facing change, missed chances, and the bittersweet nature of love that can slip away before we notice its value. And that's it for today's list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.